IRS Form 8822, Change of Address. This is the tax form that taxpayers will use to notify the Internal Revenue Service of a change in your home mailing address. And this can be used to accompany individual, gift, estate, or generation skipping transfer tax returns. If you're a representative signing on behalf of the taxpayer, you would need to attach a completed Form 8822 to a copy of your power of attorney. For the IRS, that power of attorney form should be Form 2848, as the form instructions indicate that the IRS will not complete an address change from an unauthorized third party, and filing Form 2848 is the way to communicate your power of attorney to the Internal Revenue Service. In general, it takes the IRS about 4 to 6 weeks to process a change of address request, and there is a note in the form instructions. If you've changed your prior name, or if you're a married couple and your spouse has changed your prior name, please be sure to complete line 5. We'll get to this in a moment. And if you've changed your name due to marriage or divorce, some sort of change in your filing status, then be sure to notify the Social Security Administration to make sure that both the IRS and the SSA have the same information on file regarding your address. So this one-page tax form appears in 2 parts. Part 1 is the part that helps you change your mailing address, while at the bottom, Part 2 is the signature field. This form is pretty straightforward, and we're going to go through each box or line step by step. So in Part 1, at the very top, you'll check all the boxes that this change affects. So if you only are filing individual income tax returns, you would check box 1. And if your last return was a joint tax return, but now you're establishing a separate residence, for example, with a divorce, then you would check the appropriate box under line 1. For gift tax returns on IRS Form 709, estate or generation skipping transfer tax returns for Form 706 or 706NA, then you would need to enter the decedent's information below in line 2. So you would check line 2 for gift, estate, or generation skipping tax returns, transfer tax returns, and then if you're actually filing an estate tax return, then you would enter the decedent's information, name and social security number below that box. Line 3A and 3B is pretty straightforward. Your name, first name, middle initial and last name, followed by your social security number. Same with your spouse under 4A and 4B. First name, middle initial and last name, followed by social security number. And then any prior names, either for yourself or for your spouse, under line 5A and 5B, respectively. And again, this is where you want to make sure that the information you're giving to the IRS is the same information that you're giving to the Social Security Administration, not for necessarily for immediate use, but at some point this might come back to haunt you if they're operating off of different information. So in 6A, you would enter your old address, your full street name, the street number, name, city, state, and zip code. There are instructions about if you have a P.O. box, you'll enter your P.O. box number instead of your street number, only if the post office does not deliver mail to your street address. So if the post office delivers mail to you and you have a P.O. box, you would still enter your street address. Under 6B, you would do the same thing for your spouse's old address if it's different from your old address. And then in line 7, you would enter your new address. Again, street number, street name, followed by city, state, and zip code. And if there is a P.O. box involved, you would only enter the P.O. box information if your address does not receive mail. In the signature line, you would enter your daytime telephone number as a point of contact. This is an optional field. However, it does help the Internal Revenue Service process this form a little bit more quickly if they're able to reach out to you instead of having to send you a letter. And then you would sign and date the form. If you do have an authorized representative, again, on IRS Form 2848, that person would sign at the bottom right, sign and date. So the primary question would be, where do you file this form? So if you checked the box in line 2, then you would send this to the Internal Revenue Service Center in Kansas City. Otherwise, the form instructions, again located on the back of this form, contain additional guidance based on where your old home mailing address was in. So if you're in this group of states up here, you would send your completed form to the Kansas City Service Center if your old address was in one of these states. It does not matter where your new address is, it matters where your old address is. So be sure to look carefully for your state. If you're filing from a foreign country or a territory, there is a different IRS service center unless you're filing from Guam or the U.S. Virgin Islands. So that is it for this tax form. It's pretty straightforward, and it's the simplest way to inform the Internal Revenue Service of your change in address. If you want more information on this, we've actually written a full-length article on our website. You can go to teachmepersonalfinance.com, type in IRS Form 8822 in the search bar, and our article should appear. If you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. If you like our videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please post them in the comment section or send me an email. Thank you very much and have a great day.